This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global, joined by Sam Bowen. Obviously, disappointing news that Ronnie Clark's pulled out. What was your sort of initial reaction, and when did you hear about it?
Yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, we was doing some filming yesterday for BT, discussing a lot about Ronnie Clark before we got the news. Then we was on the way to the racetrack to do some more filming on the running track, and then we got the news about Ronnie Clark pulling out. So it was extremely disappointing. And but there's not a lot we can do about it. I don't know his reasons. I don't know why it's pulled out, but it was made for a great fight. There's no denying that. But like I say, onwards and upwards now. We've got to look on whatever this fight is, and I've got to concentrate on that. So,
of course, but you didn't get any sort of reasons or clarification on why he pulled out?
I think it's injury. I believe it's an injury. Like I said, I don't know. It's irrelevant why it's pulled out. So it's pulled out. We've just got to look on now. And like Warren said, it's going to be for a title. I'm still on the show. I'm still main event. So yeah, just got to wait and see now what comes up.
Cool. You had a brilliant 2018. How do you sort of reflect on it?
Yeah, 2018 was successful as in I won 2 titles in 2 fights. Wasn't as busy as we would have thought. I know partly due to me being injured in December. But like I say, yeah, 2019 hopefully is better. So.
Ended with a nice little performance at the back end of the year. Good knockout.
Yeah, stopped in 4th or 5th round, I can't remember. Like I say, I was in there just to get the win. It's always nice to get the stoppage, but my aim was always just to win the fight, make sure I'm safe. But no denying it at Leicester, all my friends and family there, and it were a good packed out crowd, a lot mostly there for me, and then stopping them. Yeah, as you can see my reaction after, I was buzzing. So.
Opponent-wise for the 23rd, has Frank told you what's going on?
Like I said, it's been 24 hours since we found out. There's been a few names sent to Carl. Like I said, it's out of my hands. It's none of my business at the moment with what their decision is. We know it's going to be for British or WBO defence. It's potentially looking more like a WBO defence. But like I say, when I know, I suppose everyone else will know it'll get announced. So.
It's brilliant in terms of the super featherweights. Frank's obviously got Archie Sharp, yourself, Lyon Woodstock, Ronnie Clark, obviously. When do you sort of see yourself in these sort of all British clashes with the likes of Woodstock and as I said, Archie Sharp, sort of back end this year maybe?
Like I said, I don't know. I mean, Woodstock's been offered this fight for the 23rd. They've knocked it back. I know there's been a lot of talk in the past about me and Woodstock. I know it's so boring, I think. And again, like I say, he's been offered the fight in the past. He's got offered the fight for the 23rd. It's been not back. My aim is to get my ranking up in the world. I mean, if I don't defend the British for the 23rd, it's going to be looking like I probably won't defend it enough times to win it outright because it will just take too long. If it's a WBO defence, I've still got 3 more defences of the British, and by that time, we could be further up in the world rankings. So, like I say, that's something that Carl and I will discuss with Warren. And like I say, it's still early days. We don't really know, not 100% on the plans, but I mean, he's a beaten lad now, Woodstock. Like, it would have made for a good fight in Leicester, say, 6-8 months ago. But I think that the time's passed, he's lost his chance. I mean, and he's even been offered it again, so.
What about Archie Sharp?
Yeah, Archie Sharp, he's boxing, is it the Albert Hall a few weeks later? He's a great fighter. I mean, he proved that he bust up Woodstock, he won quite easily. He's a nice lad. I mean, I spoke to him on the press conference on the last show. That would be a good fight, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a very sharp fighter. I believe in my abilities. I even said that on the press conference between the both of them. If that fight was to ever happen, yeah, it would be a great fight. I mean, the British level, there's so many good fighters in Britain. My aim's to get out of that area. My aim's to, like I say, we don't do boxing for the fun of it. It ain't like we're going to the pub for a game of pool. It's you're trying to make a living. You're trying to get, you know what I mean, the bigger the fights, the better. You want to make a decent wage out of it, and that's my plan. I mean, everyone knows I work full-time, train full-time. My aim is to make myself financially stable enough to leave work and get these big fights, and I think that's what I deserve. I've won the WBO, I've won the British, I've won the fights that have been put in front of me. We drag in the zeros a little bit with the British fights. I mean, I had about 4 or 5 withdrawals for the English, and then a few. It took us a while to get a British title shot. I mean, Zelfa's the English champion. Woodstock ought to be setting his sights on maybe boxing Zelfa rather than worrying about me. I mean, it's been beat. Rather than getting a British title shot, box for the English. That'd be a good fight, and then pair. You know what I mean?
Just lastly, how do you manage obviously training full time and working full time? Because I know a few boxers have to do it, but you really shouldn't be having to do that when you're dedicating yourself to the sport so much.
Well, now, me and my missus have agreed after this fight, something's got to change. I'm off now as if I'm a full-time training fighter for this fight. I mean, I booked 4 weeks off parental leave and 4 weeks off holiday for this fight to allow me to have the preparation I need. Obviously, I can't do that for all the other fights because, like I said, I've got a mortgage to pay. I didn't box in December, so imagine if I was a full-time fighter. It's Christmas, December, who's paying my bills? But no, after this fight, I mean, I'm getting paid good for the February fight or whatever the fight is, and for whatever title it is. So it allows me to be unpaid for January and have February's off as holiday. But like I say, after this fight, I've got no holidays left unless they want to do the weigh-in at my work. I've got no other options. I'm going to speak to my who what's it called to me, looks after me, Baz Jordan, sponsors me, great bloke. Like I say, he's agreed to have a sit down if I get a good win on this fight, and potentially means I can jack in work. But he's sound. Baz Jordan's been sound. He's looked after me from day one, so we've got no issues, and we know what the plan is. So
Hopefully that works out for you. Cheers, Sam.